would it be better? He only has 25 days left to get like a fresh horse over Pete, who's 20 years old.
He didn't trade anyone in for Pete. He purchased Pete, didn't he?
We don't know. No, he didn't trade anybody, but I'm saying traded Pete in for a younger, fresh, maybe in good condition horse to finish out that 25 days. Might not be the worst idea for Pete, but then it sucks with a new horse. On Facebook saying that there's this guy who's riding from Austin to Seattle or Spokane or whatever, and someone will post it blank screen, and saying that basically the horse is lame, and so they want to know if someone will loan him a horse or give him a treat, a cheap horse, because he's not going to turn around and try to sell it for 5 figures right afterwards.
Yeah.
Your comments should not be getting filtered, Claire. Or not if it's coming through here. I just have a lot of them coming through. I don't know. I see that one anyways. Yeah, the Facebook page is Local Breeze Big Hole Valley. And both horses are lame. There is a farrier that saw Falcon and helped him to take a shoe off because he lost a screwdriver, and said that his heel bulbs are completely busted, bleeding, and he's got blue coat on him.
I mean, I'm just lost for words at this point.
Yeah, so we don't know if it's actually Falcon or Pete, but we're assuming it's Pete because they put Pack on there. But they said this horse was Pack shod, and I think they might have said Pack horse shod. I think they just flipped the words around on accident. I've got people messaging me like crazy. And then I'm like, I don't know if it's something that I need to see, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be up for the night where he's at right now.
I'm assuming now that a farrier has called the sheriff that, and he probably has heard about it at this point, because we know he listens. We know he listens. I'm willing to bet that he's not going anywhere until until whichever horse he's trying to get rid of is out of his possession.
Yeah, well, Beaverhead Sheriff told the farrier that they already were aware of the situation, and the horses are not bad enough. However, the farrier was like, I thought they were mules. They were so bad. And so I sent her the picture of the before and after 65 days. And she was like, no, that does them justice. She goes, they look even worse than that. And I was like, did you take any pictures? And she goes, no, because I didn't know anything about this situation.
Yeah, it would have been weird for a farrier to just like start taking pictures of the horse.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't really, I mean, she knew nothing about the situation.
Yeah. It's just
so how bad it have to be. Some counties are going to, it's all relative to how they perceive the law. And some of them are going to say, unless they have dropped, then we can't do anything about it. He's in Wisdom, Montana right now, and he's at a ranch trying to trade one of the horses out.
like, how is the sheriff going to tell a farrier, like an actual professional caretaker for the horses with like a specialized skill? How is he going to tell her that they're not bad enough when she's saying, no, they are though.
Yeah.
I worked on them myself.
You guys, he's not done with his trip. People are misunderstanding what his post was. His post was that we're nearing the end of our trip. This is day 75. I have 25 days left. And he's trying to pre-sell them right now because he already knows that they're lame and he's trying to buy a new horse. So basically sell whichever one is the lamest and use that money to buy another horse. He's not ending the trip early. He's ending it at 100 days like he already said. Yeah, and Shala's right. Some places won't do anything despite body condition if the horses are provided food and water. And we know that he does give them food and water here and there. We know it's not daily. And we know that it's not how much they're supposed to be fed.
After he's asking, well, he finally
just where he is. We don't know. So we don't know if he's just going to leave him there. But we're going to call as soon as we know that he's gone from there. We're going to call. No one's going to buy them for 5 figures, real estate or cars. Not anybody in their right mind. Anybody that would, that'd be really weird. Because eventually he's going to have to drop the prices on them. He has to board them when he gets back. I don't think he can afford that. Amy is asking, does he still plan on riding back to Texas? He plans to end the ride at 100 days. Yeah, he told everybody that he bought Falcon for $3,000, and then he's in way worse condition now than he was in the beginning. So what makes him in his right mind think that he's going to get 5 figures off of them? His ego really needs to be checked. He thinks he's a lot more important than he really is. He's not famous, he's infamous, and that's a big difference.
100%. He's going to be in the same list of names as C.W. Cooper, as Chris Emerson, as every single other person that has ridden horses into the ground. He is on that list. Madcap
Manor, he is in Wisdom, Montana right now. Yeah, I can't wait to see how many of us make it onto his docuseries. I think he was given Pete, honestly, by the people in Texas. I think he was pulled out of pasture and given to him.
So I'm looking at the Montana cruelty to animals.
Yes, yeah. Becky's. We were just talking about that. I've been working on that for about the last hour before I started the live. He is looking for another. Not that they are too lame. He's trying to trade one of the horses out right now. We don't know for sure which horse it is, because they said horse pack shod, but I think they meant to say pack horse shod. And then also, so it could have been the pack horse, but then there was a farrier that saw Falcon last week, like a couple days ago, and said that his feet bulbs were cracked and bleeding, and they actually had blue coat sprayed all over them. So Megan Carney is asking, are there federal guidelines for animal welfare? There is, actually. And
I can talk about those.
Yeah, go for it.
So there are a few federal legislations that actually pertain to animals. One of them is the Animal Welfare Act, that is mostly for lab animals, and it specifically excludes horses not bred for research. There's the Horse Protection Act, which is specifically for soaring and Tennessee walkers, like the gaited breeds that Big Lick really took a toll on. And what else? There's the Slaughter Act. There's a few federal regulations around animal welfare, but a lot of it doesn't really pertain to the average pet owner. The Animal Welfare Act does regulate dog breeding and showing, and a lot of other animal shows, but because the Animal Welfare Act's definition of animal excludes horses not bred for research, then horse shows and stuff don't fall under the USDA's purview under the Animal Welfare Act. Fun fact.
Terrible. However, the FBI does step in extreme animal abuse cases.
Okay, so Anubis Enfield, I'm looking at the Montana state law too, and the important thing I think that we really need to stress here is that, yeah, sure, he might be providing some food and water sometimes, but the actual text of the law says food and water of sufficient quantity and quality to sustain the animal's normal health. So we really need to start stressing that it's not sustaining the animal's normal health, and that's very clear.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And again, we don't want you guys calling the sheriff in Ravalli County yet, because he's not there. And we have a roundabout way right now with the senator, so we just want to wait until, if we ask you guys, flood, that means that they aren't doing anything about it, and we're going to have as many voices as possible, and eventually one of these sheriffs is just going to get annoyed with it. But we don't want to annoy them before we have given them the chance to fix it the right way. And that's the problem, Lisa Stewart. She says even if they do something, any law enforcement agency will give him time to get his horses in shape. And by that time, he's going to have left the county. And so this is one of the reasons that it's been really hard is that he leaves the county and then we have to start all over again. On the change.org page, I believe that is actually Brianna. Brianna, is that you?
That's someone else that messaged me pretty early on and asked me to help
Okay.
promote it.
Gotcha. Yeah, Kyla, just go ahead and PM me with that. I wonder if his son is the one that's the sheriff.
So
In extreme cases, they can hold them. And what they'll do is have them looked at by a state vet, taken to a rescue. And then there's just depends kind of on the places that they're at. Now, CB, he's not selling these horses for more than $1,000. Maybe somebody that just loves the horses would pay like $3,500, but he's not getting 10 grand. And that's, I mean, even one of them right now is he's trying to trade it out because it's lame. Which is weird because just yesterday he was posting them up for sale, which makes me believe he knew yesterday that one of them was so lame and he's trying to buy another horse.
do we know if he went to see a vet since realizing that he's lame? Something we've been yelling since the beginning?
I doubt it.
Because that's also part of the law.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But he's in Beaverhead. So we already know Beaverhead County Sheriff does not give a shit.
Have we contacted the Montana State Vet?
No. Can we
Does
just,
she-
will they do it without a sheriff opening up a...
They would be in charge of his paperwork.
We can do that. What is today? Is of course tomorrow's Sunday.
Yeah, always. He purposely does this, I swear,
I know,
at
it's
night
always
and on the
weekends.
weekends.
Feral Child, do you know her by chance?
That's not the state vet.
Well, Aimless Lou says it might that'll be 3 horses down the drain. Not necessarily. If he were to get a younger, more conditioned horse for long riding for the next 25 days, it might be okay. Hopefully. Honestly, getting Pete off the road at 20 years old, and if he's that lame that Cyril's actually trying to get rid of him, then it's probably best that that horse gets off the road. No, Jack, it wouldn't be a cheap horse.
Immediately.
But he is in Montana, so he might be getting close. Mela says, how are we getting this information? There is a post on Facebook that is coming from a local page that they posted up saying there's this guy that's riding from Austin to, I think they put Spokane, and his horse is so lame that he needs to trade it out for another horse. And through that thread, I found other information of other people that have seen him, including a farrier that saw Falcon's feet to help pull a shoe, and with pulling that shoe, noticed that his heel bulbs are cracked and bleeding. But he does plan to go the remainder of the 100 days, which I think we're at day 78 right now. Maybe 80.
I stopped counting.
Yeah, we're right around that area. Madcap Manor, that he's doing both, but at this moment, I just posted up some screenshots a few minutes ago from the farrier that I spoke to, and she's telling me about the area that he's in is extremely hard country, and she was actually really pissed. She thought they were mules, and how bad the condition of them was. Yeah, he lost his screwdriver, and so she handed her equipment to him, and he was doing it backwards. So she goes, you know, just let me do it. And she took off that shoe for him, and he kept calling Falcon his mare. So obviously he doesn't even know what the difference between a mare and a gelding is.
That's honestly the funniest part about all of this.
For real. She was like, you know what? I didn't even look because it's his horse. I thought I was looking at the feet. She kept saying she, and I corrected her and put he asterisk. And she goes, wait, he kept saying my mare. And I was like, yep, that sounds like him. Definitely confirmation. Oh, my coffee's gone. See, now she's being sweet.
Oh, she's so pretty. Does she have like a little extra black spot on her cheek?
On her what?
On her cheek?
She's got
That's like a little
freckles.
teardrop.
Yeah, she's got little freckles. And then since she used to be a feral kitty. She's got the ear clip. Yes, Brittany's Red Rovers, it is. And again, I still have my trailer up for sale. I am going to use that money to go out there if he is still at it. And I will find a way to stop him myself.
I'll meet you
The
there.
biggest problem that we're having right now is not having somebody spotting him constantly. And once he gets into those counties, it's really hard to send a sheriff out if we don't know where he is exactly. But also, I know what to look for when documenting the abuse. I know when to document times of feeding, how much he's feeding, the whole thing. And I will just take a trip that is purely for that. I just need to sell my trailer so I can send my mom out here to watch my kids for that time period.
Secret.
Yes, Brittany's Red Rovers, we saw it. That was last hour or so working on that. We're at 8:30 in the evening over there, and he's still in Beaverhead County. Oh, I know. She not only turned off comments, but she deleted a lot of them. Yeah, well, we have an address. That is me, Savage. I'm Tassie. Don't go looking into it, guys. We have addresses for Jane. Ginny, I would rather, instead of doing a GoFundMe where people just say it's a cash grab, is give somebody something for the money that I am getting for it. And that is, I have a really cool trailer. You take the trailer, I take the money. We're both, even at that point. Is priced at the right price point. In fact, probably about $5,000 less than it should be. I don't want anybody saying cash grab, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So something for something. Yes, he is really trying to find, one is too lame to continue the journey. And he is trying to trade it out for another horse via that page in Montana. He's in Wisdom, which is still Beaverhead County. You guys are going to make coffee with me because I'm a coffee addict and I need some coffee right now. It's been a long day. It is clearly abuse, especially the fact that the farrier that didn't know anything about this saw his feet and saw Falcon's feet and said that his feet were so bad that...
Well, and he had that wound care spray like back in Wyoming whenever he posted that picture, so we know that he had some kind of wound care.
So, I mean, that means that they've been having feet issues for at least since Wyoming.
Yeah, Tassie is in contact with the farrier.
Yeah, I found the farrier. I've been talking to the farrier. She feels so bad. She did not know about the situation. She called Beaverhead County Sheriff, and he said to her that they aren't bad enough. And I was like, how bad were they? And I sent her the picture of the day 1 to day 65, and she goes, oh, they're way worse than that. She goes, that's doing them a favor right now. And she goes, and they were in full gear, and even with his cracked feet, he was still riding Falcon.
But I mean, that's honestly what it's going to take to get him off the road at this point. It's going to be people that are seeing the animals, not not us calling from states away. It's going to be the people that are actually there looking at the animals calling and saying, hey, this isn't okay. And it
Yeah.
sucks, but that's just how it has to be for them, I guess. But that's, we shouldn't, oh shit.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I just gotta. Shoot, where'd Brianna go? Gosh darn it! Can you guys still hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Wes is in the car. He appears. Sorry, I got a phone call from Wes, and I had to stop everything to see if he had something new going on. What's up, Wes?
God damn it.
Wes, you there?
Right there. Sorry, my assistant sucks at phones. I'm here. He's my camera operator while I'm calling.
How did your thing go?
I got a first and a second.
Oh, nice! Congrats!
High school rodeo horse first, and then the one that never been in the pen second. So good day.
That's friggin' awesome. Story. Hair.
I sure do. Well, it's kind of short.
I'm thinking about chopping mine off.
It's not great right now, but I have it long on top and short all over.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might be chopping my hair off. It's too freaking hot.
That's where I mean, like I cut all of my hair off in South Carolina because I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, I like that. It's cute.
My sister got the same haircut like a year after I did, and she's 10 years older than me, so I was like, oh,
Aw.
who's dominant now? Do things. So this is not anything against long riding or discipline or anything like that. This is just animal abuse that needs to be stopped.
Correct. Like I would myself, if my horses were conditioned enough, go do a long ride, pre-planned, and this would take years for me to go through. In fact, I think Butch is planning a trip at some point, or maybe it was Maureen. And I can guarantee you that they will be applauded for the way that they do it because they're going to do it the right way. I would be their biggest fan throughout their trip should they be doing it the right way. And he's just not. Yeah, I've seen your horse is beautiful, Basic. I don't think he's attractive at all, but to each their own. I know that he's a master manipulator, and so that helps. No, your horse is fucking gorgeous. She's thick. I mean, every single one of my horses is thick. Ouch, I just got smoke in my eyeball. There we go. Thank you. The friggin'. Yeah, he's that kind of person that I don't know. If I met him out and about and didn't know the whole situation, I might sit here with him. And I think that that's the narcissism. I would catch on to it super quick, but in the very beginning of it, I would probably think this is a very interesting story and that he's doing it really cool. And of course, nobody would do this ride without being prepared, right? But as soon as I did catch it. That'd be it. I didn't think Ted Bundy was attractive either. I don't know how anybody thought that guy with his unibrow was attractive. But I guess that was the time where unibrows were manly, and I don't know, the things that he posts, he's so disgusting. There's like sexual connotations with the animals all over the place. Yeah, Chelsea, I mean, the last one that I saw when he did the sweet cheeks and then he put his waist up behind Falcon's butt and kind of hugged him from behind was really cringy. What he did with the cow, cringy.
I didn't
Listen,
realize
I'm
I was
straight.
muted.
I'm strictly dickly, and I still wouldn't touch Wes with his dick. Yeah, he's really pervy and gross. And not like funny, some people pull off like the funny, whatever, but he's not pulling it off. Yeah, I'll run through it one more time. Basically, last night he posted up saying that his horses were for sale, that he was going to finish out his trip of 100 days, that he was 75 days in at that time, and that he would trade them for real estate or cars or 5 figures. At first he didn't have the 5 figures, but he must have gotten bombarded so much that he changed 5 figures. And then today there's a post up on the Local Breeze in Wisdom that you can see it right here. One of the horses is super lame and he's trying to trade it out for another horse. Yeah, I need somebody that's like in the area and has time to kill and isn't scared to do some fun shit. Did Wes get booted again? Oh,
He requested.
sorry, Wes, I missed it. Oh, I can't put you on. Let me see, guests, accept. Aha! Yeah, those aren't even his horses in the photos. Because I was sitting there like, oh, is that Pete right there? And there's no white on the hawk, so it's not him.